So I've been getting that a lot.
If I've been in the crowd before and a comedian will make a fat joke, I don't feel as nice as the palsy people do about it. I don't know. I'm not like, that was great. Do it again.
You don't feel included?
No. I liked it better when they didn't see me.
You don't like when they remind you that you can't see your penis anymore?
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
That's not funny anymore.
A lot of that goes on. Hey, by the way, though, you bring that up. Every time, I would say a majority of the times I get up in the middle of the night and I go to take a leak, you know, I look down and I see my penis and I go, I don't understand. I mean, there must be a certain kind of fat where you can't see your penis anymore, or maybe I have an okay sized penis, but I can still see it. I've never not seen it. I know what it looks like. I could draw it if I had to.
Has any of it disappeared?
Yeah, I don't see the back. I don't see the back part of it, but I can see the front part. I know he's still there. It's so funny.
You must have a decent sized penis.
I mean, I think I'm okay. I don't think I would nothing to brag about, but I'm just saying.
Because think about it. There are guys who flaccid.
Yeah.
2.5 inches.
Yeah. I have to tell you.
Think about a 2.5 inch to a 3.5 inch flaccid, and a gut that goes over 5 inches.
Right. My gut is.
You know what I'm saying?
My gut is above it.
Right.
And
I mean, lift the fat. You could do that.
Yeah. There is times in a flaccid state where I am alarmed at. I say it looks like a bird's nest with a little baby egg inside it. Yeah, yeah. But upon it's like an Avenger when called for duty, it just shines. You know what I mean? It never has any problem.
You're a grower, not a shower.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's like a knife. You put it in this little sheath when you're not using it, and you pull it out when you're ready to fight.
Right.
So I'm just keeping it there.
I know, and I'm not circumcised, so for me that goes double.
You really have the sheath.
Oh yeah.
Now they say that you have a lot more feeling when you don't get circumcised.
So much more. Well, I don't know. I can't compare.
Like I'm happy with mine.
I don't know. Tell me what it feels like, Kevin.
I always wonder about that because neither one of us would know. I don't know because I've always been that way.
Right. Here's what my doctor said.
Yeah.
Because I went with my cousin to the doctor one time who is circumcised, and we asked the doctor that question. And he told my cousin, he goes, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to put your arm as if you're holding a dumbbell close.
Right.
Hold it like that for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And he held it like that for a few minutes, and then it kind of got sweaty right in between the arm.
Yeah.
And on the opposite side of the elbow. And he goes, okay, now open it up. And he goes, touch that part. And then he goes, touch the other part. Which one's more sensitive? He goes, oh my God, this one's so much more sensitive. He goes, that's what it's like for him. The head of his penis never touches anything, while yours hits the side of your stuff, hits the front. So you're a little desensitized. Like he just feels everything.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
No, boy, which sounds great, except people like me suffer from premature ejaculation.
Oh, really? Because of that?
Well, think about it. I mean, it's covered the whole time, and then all of a sudden it comes out, and somebody touches it. It's you know what I'm saying? It's just so. I'm good for round 2 and 3. That's when I'm good.
You got to get one out of the way first. I get you. I get you.
Yeah, exactly.
Question: have you seen the George Lopez video of him walking off the stage?
You know what sucks, dude? I don't like talking smack about it, the comics. It's just something I don't like doing. So it stops me sometimes from posting stuff.
Right.
But the minute that happened, I wanted to post something that said, I find it ironic that people are mad that he gets off early because I literally get in trouble for staying on too long.
Too long, yeah.
Like I literally the opposite. For me, it's like, oh, Carlos he's supposed to get off and stayed on for like 45 minutes after. It's like, so I get it. Like people aren't happy.
Nobody gets mad. The only people that get mad about that is the wait staff. The fans love it. Like I remember Ralphie May. Yeah, Ralphie May would go like for an hour and a half. Yeah, he'd just be on a roll. And I'm in there, before I was friends with Ralphie, I'd be like, how could this guy, he's just killing. This is great. Right. My head would hurt, from laughing.
Right.
And then I realized the only people that are mad are the wait staff because they want to go home. Everybody, but nobody else is complaining. But anyway, he for those people who don't know, George Lopez was on stage at a casino. He didn't even get heckled, by the way. No, it wasn't even a heckle. They were just drunk, excited
yelling
people,
out,
I think, yelling out
stupid stuff.
It wasn't like they were trying to interrupt his jokes. They were just, giving him like a lot. One lady said, "I want to buy you a drink."
Right.
And instead of just ignoring her or telling her, "Hey, thanks, but shut up," he got mad like a baby and walked off stage.
He's been doing it long enough that he's like, "Ugh, I don't want to deal with
it, right?"
Ugh,
yeah.
You people. Yeah. Well, but here's the thing. And I knew this was going to happen. And I told all my comedy friends, dude, we're going to start getting heckled more and more and more.
Yeah.
And my friend's like, why? Because of the audience and people change? I go, no. Because all these comedians are posting
Heckling
stuff.
video,
and
yeah.
instead of writing a joke and then going, I'm going to post that joke, they start doing crowd work.
Yeah.
And so all of the stuff from, all of these comics, it's them talking to the audience talking back.
Yeah.
I
So
blame Mark Norman.
What was that?
I blame Mark Norman.
Is he the one that started it?
Yeah, he started doing the crowd work and posting that. They say because
Wasn't it that Heathcliff or Hedgecliff?
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Was it Tony and those guys?
I don't know.
What about the young kid? What's his
Matt
name?
Rife.
Matt Rife. Is it
Rife,
Rife
yeah.
doing
He
it
made
too?
it.
That's
Yeah.
all he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all these guys are doing that. So, I mean, dude, I've had people yell out stuff that I don't. Where was I? Oh, 2 weeks ago. I was at a casino in California. And a guy just yelled out, and I was like, what? And then somebody goes, he wants you to talk about the president of El Salvador. I go, dude, I don't care about our old ass president. Why would I care about El Salvador? Like, who knows?
Yeah.
But it is interesting that Honduras, Salvador, but Honduras and Mexico have beat the United States of America in misogyny because they've actually had a female president.
Yeah.
And we still haven't.
We still have it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
What is the guy's name who it was in Scarface who used to walk out with the big radio?
Angel Salazar.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah. In like 20, 30 years ago, I saw Angel Salazar at in Miami at the Improv there in Coconut Grove. And this guy next to me was yelling out, and I couldn't understand why. And the waitress came over and she said, "You can't talk during the show." And his exact response was, "I'm just helping him out." And
Yeah.
I thought,
Right.
People think that. They think
Yes.
they're supposed to be part of the show.
That's what they think.
Oof.
That's what they think.
That is brutal.
And so, yeah, but listen, it's gold. Like this weekend, I had a girl. I can't post a lot of this stuff there was a 16-year-old girl with her brother.
Careful what you say next. I'm just kidding.
Well, no. Listen, the thing is that but toward the end of the show, we started talking about their parents having sex, and of course, it just goes down this crazy road.
Right.
But you can't post stuff like that because they're underage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of edgy.
You guys have to worry about that now. I was with Bobby Kelly, and he has a really good video guy. They take clips of his stuff and they put it out there, and he made him pull one down. And I go, "That's hilarious." He goes, "I can get in trouble for that now." And I went, "Oh, that's got to be horrible to have this job and think about that. Like, you can't even be funny without having to worry about somebody getting uptight about it. That wasn't even at the show."
And YouTube is worse than a network.
Yeah.
Right? Because a
YouTube
network,
will
like
live
if I
there.
went to ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, whatever it is, and said, I got this much money, I want to spend it, they'll be like, well, what time slot do you want? What show do you want? I'd say, I want it on this show for this time slot, AGT, blah, blah, blah. The problem with the algorithm now on YouTube is that they don't know what video is going to go to what advertisement.
Right.
So, bro, like videos that have profanity on it, They put limits on it.
Oh, yeah.
Videos that I had a friend that had a video that went really well, and then it just stopped. And we tried to find out what it was, and it was because he said the word bullying in it.
Oh, no,
Even though it was I got bullied, it was I got
bullied.
bullied when I was a kid. The word bullying itself suppressed the video because the algorithm doesn't know if you're doing for or against.
No. They don't send sarcasm. I put a
Nope.
video up one time and I said something to my son and then I told him I was going to punch him in the eye.
Right.
And it took me down for violence.
Yeah.
I was like, it's my son. I'm not going to hit him. It was a
And you're
joke.
really not gonna, exactly.
Yeah.
So
And that's why a lot of people started saying unalived themselves.
Yeah,
You can't
instead
say
of, like,
suicide.
suicide.
Because it will get marked and get pulled if you talk about suicide.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff. Like so it's even worse. It's like this whole thing is worse. But here's the thing: it's that people think they're important.
Oh yeah.
I didn't
Way
grow up
more
that way.
important. Yeah, no.
Right? Like I swear to God, when I was about 8 years old, and I'm one of 18 kids. Remember that? So I'm the 17th one of 18 kids. First of all, my dad used to play a song for us when we were kids. And it's literally
Let me
called
remember your name.
In This.
There's Carlos and Chichu and Tachi and more.
Dude, if my family, just my family, was stuck on Gilligan's Island, we wouldn't be able to get to the end of it because you know what I mean. Andorca, Casimiro, Roberto. Like it would be like, how many people are on this goddamn island?
Let's do like Goodwill Hunting when he lies and said he was and she's like, name all your.
Oh,
all
not
your
Tommy.
siblings.
Yeah. No, see, I'll remember him.
You're right.
But here's the problem: whoever I say last will get a phone call. I have a cousin that's not far from here. So he's listening right now.
Right.
So whoever I say last, I'm going to get a phone call later on. It's usually like Martha or Olga or one of them, or Maribel, because she would be the last one because she lives here in Miami. She'll give me a call and be like, so I'm the last one? Remember when you were a kid and you broke your leg and I took you to the hospital and I'm the last one? And then it cost me like a really nice dinner at a really, at a Michelin 1 restaurant. So I now just refrain from doing it. But I have funky, we have funky names. Like I have a sister named Dorca.
Dorca,
Dorca.
That's great.
Yeah, in Spanish, it sounds awesome. Dorca.
Yeah.
Once you go to English.
Once you go to high school, it's not fun anymore. Yeah.
Well, yeah, when I named my son, I had to pass the names through my dad, through the filter of his accent.
Oh, to see what it would sound like when he was saying
So I wanted to name my son Sean. That was the name I had picked for my son.
Sean?
Yeah, exactly. I go, Dad, say Sean. He goes, Ton. I'm like, nope, not going to happen. Because in my family, everybody has a nickname.
Yeah.
So his nickname would have been Chan Chan or something stupid like that.
Right.
But here's the problem.
Jackie Chan.
I said Lucas, and he said Lucas. He goes, Lucas, it was cool. But now people call him Luke. So when my dad says look at Luke, it's so hysterical because he's like, look at Luke. Like, what? Look at Luke. Like, what is look at Luke? Like,
look at Luke.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to run it through the filter of my dad. But yeah, I've all that family, and it's he used to play a song called In This World, Nobody is Indispensable. Right? So he taught us that we were special to him.
Gotcha.
But not to the world.
Right.
So when I was about 8 years old, he literally said this to me. My dad goes, Mijo, you're my favorite. You're the smartest one of all my kids. Mm-hmm. And I love you so much. But if you die, I'm not going to miss you. I swear to God. I swear to God.
I got 17 more.
And I was like, yes, that's exactly what he said. And when I made a face, he got mad at me. Yeah. I got sad, and he was like, why are you so selfish? You're already dead, and you want me to be mean to your brothers and sisters? I'm like, I'm not dead, dude. I'm right here. I'm in your face. So
do you think he told all of
it was different.
Did he tell all of your siblings that they were the favorite and the smartest?
No, he was really, really honest.
Really?
Like if you would have lined up my mother and father when, we were teenagers or preteens, you know what I mean? She would have told you. Like my mom would have said to my 3 oldest sisters, this is what my mother, and I've heard her say this, by the way, but she would have said it like to your face. If you would have said, like, what about your 3 daughters? She would have been, well, that one right there, her name is Anna. She's very smart. She's going to go to college. Her other one, that's Marta. She's crazy. She's a whore. She's going to have like so many penises. And then we're like, what about the other one? She's like, I don't know yet, but I think she might be okay. Like just like straight up. Like just real. She's the kind of mom that when I have a weekend where I eat too much, just for a weekend, I get back home and she goes, oh, you got fatter. What happened? Like she's, you know what I mean? Just straight up, brutally honest. Yeah. I remember when I first met my wife and we introduced her, I go, listen, my mom might say something that sounds callous.
Right. That's how she is.
She's just being honest. It's not, there's no judgment to it.
Yeah.
So if she says that you're fat or you're tall or whatever, just understand.
It's what she sees.
She's, and she's not trying to say anything bad about you. And so she had to, like my wife had to learn so many like cultures.
Oh, yeah. She's straight up white chick, your wife?
She's from Oregon. Oh. Her family's from Portugal.
Okay.
So she kind of gets it. But I remember the first time she goes, let's have a barbecue and invite your family. I go, you want to invite my family? Well, invite your mom. I go, oh, okay. I knew what was going to happen. So she calls my mom and says, come over. And I go, we need to prepare for about 125 people to show up at our house.
That's right. Once the floodgates are open, they're
and she goes, no, I just invited your mom. I go, yeah. And my mom right now is calling everybody in the family. And she goes, no, that's not going to happen. And I go, yeah, it is. She's what's it going to, like, they're going to call me and tell me. I'm like, nobody's going to call you with a count. Nobody's going to call you and go, oh, just so you know, I invited. She's going to invite everybody, blanket statement.
Yeah.
And normally everybody doesn't come. But because I'm Carlos Mencia, nobody's going to want to be hurt my feelings. Right, so they're all going to come.
Show up, yeah.
So they all showed up, bro. One showed up with a goat.
To cook?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Like somebody showed up with a goat, and my wife is so stupid. She goes, "Oh, it's like a petting zoo." I go, "Wait for it. Wait for it." And you go, bah, gunshot. And I go, "There it is. Go out back and see what happened."
Wow.
And dude, she goes out back and she goes, "They're stabbing a goat in the neck." I'm like, "No, that's just to bleed it out so that the meat is tasty." And so there was, and then after that, 3 people showed up with chickens, and my mom took care of that, bro. My mom just grabbed the chicken, grabbed it by the neck, flipped it 3 times.
Really? Just
threw it
broke
on the
the neck?
floor. Yeah.
Holy smokes.
And she did it to all 3 of them. And then, and then you dip it in hot water. You put hot water, and that's how you take out the feathers. And it smells like wet dog.
Oh,
Oh my
sure.
God. That stink is like, oh, it's so horrible.